Hi guys, it's Dawn, and I'm here today to talk to you about answers to some of your burning questions. It's interesting. This morning I got a question from a woman named Giselle, and she said, my burning question is, how do I find the balance when I'm trying to do everything perfectly? And I want to address that question today, and I also want to address another question from a woman named Nikki, who said, how do I stop comparing myself to others? So there's a reason that I'm addressing both of these questions at once, and there's a reason that I look the way that I do. So first of all, Giselle, I want to say to you, perfection is the enemy of done. And I recognize that I've been putting off recording these videos because my hair hasn't quite looked right and I didn't want to take the time to choose an outfit. So this morning, you're getting me with all of my bedhead and no makeup. And I'm still wearing my morning yoga clothes because I woke up at 4:30 to get on the mat before I got some work done. And so I wanted to take this opportunity and just jump in and answer the question without worrying about perfection. Right? So what I want to say to you is to look into the places in your life that perfection or the pursuit of perfection is allowing you to avoid a risk that you're secretly afraid to take. Right? So if I'm worried about making this one little piece as perfect as I can possibly make it, then I'm focusing all of my attention on that, and I'm not doing this other thing over here that secretly scares me. Right? So I want to say to you, instead of saying, oh my gosh, everything has to be perfect, take a step back and say, well, what am I avoiding? And how do I really want my life to be? Am I prepared to face my fears, or am I going to keep letting this story about hesitation and this story about needing to be perfect govern the way that my life unfolds? Secondly, I want to talk about this piece, compare and despair, because I think they're really related. A lot of times, especially as women, we say, oh, okay, well, she can do this or she can do that and I can't. And we knock ourselves down because we don't feel like we measure up. And the process is really similar. I want to encourage you to ask yourself, where am I getting off of the hook by comparing myself to someone else? Where am I avoiding a risk that I'm secretly afraid to take by telling myself that someone else is innately more qualified to take that risk or to do that special or that amazing thing than I am? Another thing that I want to encourage you to do is to look inside and say, what is the positive intention of what I'm doing? Right? And what I mean by that is that I believe that every action, no matter what the outcome and no matter how it's implemented, has a positive intention. This is something that I learned with the transformational coaching method that I studied. And with that, what it means is that a lot of times we can look deeper and say, well, even though this outcome is very negative, right? Like I feel really terrible about myself and I'm not taking action. When I look at the positive intention, I might find that I really want to feel safe, or I really want to feel loved. And so I'm comparing myself to others as a way of keeping myself safe. It's a way that I can justify avoiding a risk. Maybe I'm comparing myself to others because it leaves me feeling bad. And while that doesn't sound very positive, the thing is, human beings have a drive to experience the familiar. And so if feeling bad has been my mode of operation, then I can compare myself to others and continue to create the same feeling over and over again, which is familiar, and therefore it feels safe. So I want to encourage both of you, Giselle and Nikki, look at your life and say, what am I avoiding that I'm secretly terrified of, but a deep part of me really wants to step forward into? By either saying it's got to be perfect or by comparing myself to others in a way that lets me off the hook. And then I want to hear back from both of you so that we can strategize together about how to move forward.